I'm always wondering, watching that show, like, how would I do? And I lean towards the fact that I would do much worse than I think I would, because I imagine everybody goes into it being like, I'm going to be the guy. Just like, I imagine it being like the first time you go to play paintball. I remember when I was like 11, I was like going in imagining like, one shot, one kill, popping around the side, running, and then you go and do it, and like some 34-year-old with a $1,200 setup just mows you down, and you're sad. But like, I imagine that's how 60 Days In. Like, even if you're all psyched up, like, yeah, I've seen all the episodes, I know how to do it. I read prison shows, I watched Oz to get the fear into me, and now like you show up, and I imagine a lot of that just poof leaves your head once you're in reality, right? Like, all the plans fall apart.
Honestly, the only person that I think was able to go in there with that whole mentality was Abner, right? I mean, the dude had like
the enforcer.
8 years of like actual hard time that he served. I mean, that dude knew the ins and outs, how jails worked, how prisons worked. Like, he knew how to, to interact. So I think I went in there honestly just thinking originally I was just going to lay low. I was like, hey, I'm going to lay low, just kind of do my time and get out of here.
Mm-hmm. Was there a moment kind of where the other inmates were getting close to you, where where you kind of thought, holy shit, I'm on the ins here. They trust me. Yeah,
that happened pretty quickly too, man. Like I tried laying low, and there was a time where some of the leaders started kind of coming to me and talking to me and things like that, telling me information, telling me, hey, look, if I needed drugs, if I needed this, just let them know. And then there was times where, actually, I wish Trey was on here with us. So there was this big fight scene where he went up into a room with one of the biggest dudes in there. Rue was the guy's name, and they fought behind closed doors. And that dude actually came up to me and he's like, "Hey, I'm making an announcement to the pod, but it doesn't go for you or your cellmate Desmond. But everybody's going to pitch in items from commissary. You guys don't have to pay up." And I was like, wow. Okay.
Man, what were the items for? Just
I don't understand. Why did everyone pay
rent?
Just pay.
Oh,
so they were just extorting items out of everyone, but you got to pass because you're cool? Is that the scoop?
Hey, man, I'm hoping it was because I was cool.
They weren't expecting head later or anything?
No, man. And, honestly, I went in there and anytime anybody talked to me, they'd be like, "Oh man, you're a Marine. You'll probably kill us with one hand." I'm like, "Nah, dude, it's not like that, man. Like I've probably been in I've been in the least amount of fights probably out of any of these guys in here, And they're like, "Yeah, but you're trained to kill." I'm like, "No, not really, dude."
See, that probably made them like you more. They're like, "No, that's part of his Marine training. Keep him underestimating you." I would have been like, "Yeah, you better not get me to unlock the death stare."
Yeah,
I'll kill you across the pod if I so wish. Yeah, that being a Marine definitely helped. It seems like that helps in every season, or at least a military man. They find another military guy in there, and they have immediate camaraderie.
Yeah, honestly, man, military gets along really well with inmates. I mean,
you're both like regimented stuff.
Yeah, I don't know what the psychological side of it is there, but
they both do time. They can't wait to get out.
Yeah, counting down days.
Yeah.
There was the one guy, in addition to Abner, that I think handled it really well, is a guy named Quentin, this black ex-cop, and he never seems to get upset about anything. Like, he was laying on his cot under the stairs, huge guy, and some crackhead white guy falls over and he's like having a seizure next to him, and he's like, "It's very difficult as a police officer to not get up and go over and engage and try and help, but I figured the guards knew what they were doing. They entered the pod, went over. They didn't even touch the man. They let the inmates continue to hold him. I was very disappointed by what I saw." And that was it. Like, he didn't even get mad or anything. Like, 4 days in, he's like, "I'd love to have my pin so I could get this phone call out." And they're like, it's your problem, man. Sorry. He's like, "This is incredibly disappointing knowing that I've been sending people to this sort of establishment, and this is how they run it." Like, he was like mad about the administration and the policies. But yeah, Quentin rules. Do you